So this is my first time in Serbia.
Ovo je moj prvi put u Srbiji.
Although I recognize many of you from other countries.
Iako prepoznam mnoge od vas iz drugih država.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Hvala vam što ste me primili.
So I was really thinking about what are the benefits of having camps and retreats like this.
Razmišljala sam o tome koji su dobrobiti od ovakvih kampova i retreatova.
And I was thinking we could understand it in two different models.
Mislila sam da to možemo razumjeti na dva različita načina.
By the 5 most powerful aspects of bhakti.
Kroz 5 najmoćnijih aspekata bhakti.
And also by the 5 nectars that Raghunath Das Goswami says we should drink every day.
I kroz 5 vrsta nektara za koje Raghunath Das Goswami kaže da trebamo piti svaki dan.
So because I've spent the last 3 years working on Raghunath Das Goswami's Manashiksha book, I think I'm going to go with his model tonight.
A pošto sam posljednjih par godina provela radeći na prevodu Raghunath Das Goswamijeve Manashikshe, mislim da ću pričati o njegovom modelu.
So Raghunath Das Goswami says that every day we should drink 5 nectars.
Dakle, Raghunath Das Goswami kaže da svaki dan trebamo piti 5 nektara.
And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says every day we should bathe Govardhan with these 5 nectars.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur kaže da bi svaki dan trebali kupati Govardhana sa tih 5 nektara.
So I hope that all of us do this every day.
Nadam se da svi to radimo svaki dan.
But at least for the next few days,
ali barem idućih nekoliko dana.
We're going to be doing it a lot.
To ćemo raditi puno.
And these nectars are going to fill us with light and love.
I ovi će nas nektari ispuniti svjetlošću i ljubavom.
They're shining nectars.
To su sjajni nektari.
You know that in the mode of goodness, all of the gates are illumined by knowledge.
U univeline sve dveri su prosvjetljene znanjem.
But this is above goodness.
Ali ovo je iznad vrline.
This is a transcendental relationship of love.
Ovo je transcendentalan odnos ljubavi.
So what are these 5 nectars?
Dakle, koji su to tih 5 nektara?
So I'm going to quiz you at the end.
Na kraju ćemo imati u vezi toga kviz.
So the first one is worship.
Prvi je obožavanje.
The second is glorification.
Drugi je slavljenje.
The third is meditation.
Treći je meditacija.
The fourth is hearing of divine pastimes.
Četvrti je slušanje o božanskim zabavama.
And the fifth is offering obeisances.
A peti je odavanje poštovanja.
So the first worship.
Prvi, dakle, obožavanje.
So this is so wonderful at these retreats when we get to worship so many different forms of the Lord.
To je tako prekrasno na ovakvim festivalima kada možemo obožavati toliko mnogo različitih oblika Gospodina.
As so many devotees bring their beloved Lord for us to worship.
Toliko bakta donese svog voljenog Gospodina da ga svi obožavamo.
Reminds me of how Lord Kapila Dev says that the Lord takes whatever form we want to see him in.
Tu me podsjeća na ono što kaže gospodin Kapila Dev, da Gospodin preuzima onakav oblik u kakvom ga bakta želi obožavati.
We try to do that in ordinary life.
To pokušavamo raditi u svakodnevnom životu.
We think, oh, I'll marry someone and they'll be exactly the person that I want.
Mislimo, oženit ću se s nekim i to će biti točno onakva osoba kakvu želim.
Good luck with that.
Sretno s time.
But Krishna actually does that.
Ali Krishna u stvari to radi.
In the 10th canto, chapter 14, Sanatana Goswami has a very nice commentary.
U 10. pjevanju, 14. poglavlju, Sanatana Goswami daje jako fin komentar.
When all the cows and cowherd boys that Brahma stole appear as Vishnu.
Kad se sva telad i dječaci koje Brahma ukrao pojave kao Višnu.
And each Vishnu is being worshipped by innumerable living entities.
A svakog Višnua obožava neograničen broj živih bića.
Sanatana Goswami says that the Lord has unlimited qualities.
Sanatana Goswami kaže da Gospodin ima neograničene osobine.
And there are unlimited living entities.
I postoji neograničen broj živih bića.
And each living entity is attracted to a particular quality.
I svako živo biće je privučeno određenom osobinom.
Therefore, the Lord appears a little different to each devotee.
Tako se Gospodin pojavi svakom bhakti malo drugačiji.
We have Radha Krishna and Nitai Gaur, Jagannath Balaram Subhadra. We have Gaur Gadadhar. Then we have Krishna and Balaram. And who are their friends here, Rohini Sutaka? Are these Subal and Sridham? Sridham and Sudham. And another Krishna Balaram. And then we have Nisingha Prahlad, Sridham and Sudham. So in so many manifestations.
U toliko mnogo manifestacije, pojava.
And every day we're going to be worshiping them.
I svakog ćemo ih dana obožavati.
So even in Vrindavan, the devotees worship the Lord.
Čak i u Vrindavanu bhakti obožavaju Gospodina.
Of course, not always so formally.
Ne uvijek tako formalno.
Bhaktivinoda has his nice song, Mana Mandire, where he says, Prema Pradipa Arati Tomar. I am worshiping you with the light of my love.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur ima pjesmu Prema Pradipe, koja pjeva Mama Mantra, koja pjeva Prema Pradipa Arati Tomar.
I am worshiping you with the lamplight of my love.
Obožavam te sa lampom moje ljubavi.
So that is the real worship.
To je pravo obožavanje.
Not just to move some incense and move some light and things like that.
Ne vrtiti neki mirisni štapić ili svjetlinu.
So every day when we're worshiping the Lord,
Svaki dan kada obožavam Gospodina,
or maybe we're watching someone else worship,
ili gledamo nekog drugog da obožavam Gospodina,
but then we are worshiping through them also.
ali onda mi i kroz njih obožavamo.
And we should be meditating on what we are doing.
I trebamo meditirati na to što radimo.
I am offering you some incense so you will have very nice smells.
Nudim ti mirisni štapić tako da ti jako fino miriše.
Of course, here in the forest smells like incense already.
Ovdje u šumi, naravno, šuma sama po sebi miriše kao mirisni štapić.
Makes us immediately think what it must be like in the spiritual world in the forest.
I odmah nas tjera da mislimo kako mora da mirišu šume u duhovnom svijetu.
And then, Krishna, I'm offering you a lamp.
Krišna, nudim ti svjetlinu.
That's the main way that we welcome somebody.
To je glavni način na koji nekog dočekujemo.
We turn on the light,
Uključujemo svjetlo.
isn't it?
Nije li?
Gopi Pranidhana Prabhu told me that the lamp is the most important element in the Aratisi.
Gopi Pranidhana Prabhu mi je rekao da je i lampa najvažniji element u obožavanju Gospodina.
And we're offering flowers and fan.
I nudimo cvijeće i čamaru prijateljstva.
So don't have it be just a formality
Nemojte da to bude tek formalnost
or just to ask for some blessings.
ili da bismo tražili neke blagoslove.
We just visited St. Mark's Church in Belgrade,
Upravo smo u Beogradu posjetili crkvu Svetog Marka
and by each saint they have a candle.
i ispred svakog sveca je poštanica,
But probably people are mostly asking for blessings.
ali ljudi najvjerovatnije traže blagoslove.
Here's your candle,
Evo ti poštanica,
give me money.
daj mi par,
Or here's your candle,
ili evo ti sveća,
give me health.
daj mi zdravlje.
Like you go into a shop,
Kao da ideš u prodavnicu,
right? Okay, I'm going to give you some money,
daću ti nešto para,
and then you give me what I want.
a ti mi daj ono što ja tražim.
So not like that.
Ne tako.
We should just be thinking how to make Krishna very happy.
Trebamo samo razmišljati o tome kako da usrećimo Krišnu.
And of course, Prabhupada says when we offer something to Krishna, it acts for our benefit.
A što Prabhupada kaže, naravno, kad ponudimo nešto Krišni, to djeluje i za našu dobrobit.
So we should, of course, worship Krishna just out of sanity.
Dakle, trebamo obožavati Krišnu iz čistog zdravog razuma.
He's giving us our food, our water, our everything.
Daje nam našu hranu, vodu, sve.
So we should give him at least some.
Trebamo bar nešto odavati.
So to be in this mood of worship every day.
Da budemo u ovome raspoloženju obožavanja svakog.
So how many of you in your own life, your own general life, do some worship every day?
Koliko vas u vašem svakodnevnom životu nekako obožava Gospodina?
So the next item after worship is glorification.
Sljedeća stvar nakon obožavanja je slavljenje i proslavljanje.
Of course, we are doing that in the kirtan.
Naravno, to radimo u kirtanu.
Such a wonderful kirtan.
Bio je tako prekrasan kirtan.
The holy name was manifesting the 7 glories as mentioned in the first verse of the Shikshastra.
Sveto ime je pokazalo svojih 7 slava, kao što je spomenuto u prvoj strofi šaštana.
And the way you were chanting to Nrsingadev, I thought he was just going to jump out of one of the pillars.
Kako je pjevao Nrsingadev, mislila sam da će iskočiti iz jednog od ovih stupova.
I wasn't sure if we were going to be happy with that or not.
Nisam bila sigurna ćemo biti sretni zbog toga ili ne.
But to glorify the Lord.
Ali slaviti Gospodina, proslavljati ga.
Yeah, we all like to be glorified.
Mi svi želimo da budemo slavljeni.
Yes, everybody likes to be
Da, svaki
glorified.
želi da bude slavljen.
If we're honest.
Ako smo iskreni.
So Prabhupada writes in Krishna book in the story of Jambavan
Što Prabhupada piše u Krišnoboku u priči o Džambavanu,
that Krishna has all of the instincts of a human being.
da Krišna ima sve instinkte ljudskog bića.
So he also loves to be glorified.
On također voli da bude slavljen.
Of course, sometimes in Vrindavan he likes to be criticized also.
Nekad u Vrindavanu također voli da bude kritiziran.
Because just glorification gets boring after a while.
Jer slavljenje nakon nekog vremena dosadno.
So the cowherd boys, they say, oh, I'm stronger than you, who are you?
I onda dječaci kažu, ma ko si ti, jači sam od tebe.
And the gopis, they say, oh, you're late, you can't see Radharani today, forget it, go home.
Gopi kažu, a zakasnio si danas, ne možeš više vidjeti Radharani, idi kući.
And Mother Yasoda, she says, bad, bad boy.
A Jašoda kaže, loš dječak, zločest dječak.
But generally Krishna likes to be glorified.
Ali generalno Krišna voli da bude slavljen.
And of course, one of the sweetest ways to glorify him is just saying his name.
A jedan od najslađih načina slavljenja njega je recitiranje, izgovaranje njegovih imena.
They say the sweetest sound to anyone is their own name.
Kaže se da je najslađi zvuk svakome njegovo vlastito ime.
Even in a very crowded room, so many people are talking. If we hear our name, oh, what was that?
Ili u punoj prostoriji sa puno ljudi koji pričaju, kad čujemo naše ime, mislimo, ko ne zove.
And when we glorify the Lord, it removes our envy.
A kad slavimo Gospodina, to uklanja našu zavist.
It gets our own false ego out of the center.
Miče naš lažni ego van centra
It acknowledges that Krishna is at the center.
i priznaje da je Krišna u centru.
And therefore we become very happy.
I onda postanemo jako sretni.
Just like our whole body becomes nourished when we feed our stomach.
Kao što naše čitavo tijelo biva nahranjeno kad nahranimo stomak.
So worship and glorification.
Dakle, slavlje, obožavanje i proslavljanje.
How many of you glorify the Lord in your own life every day?
Koliko od vas u vašem životu svaki dan slavi Krišnu?
Not quite as many, I see.
Ne toliko puno.
So this retreat is a good time to get some supercharged in glorification.
Dakle, ovaj skup je događaj na kojem možemo napuniti naše baterije da ga slavimo.
Then the third one is meditation.
Treća stvar je meditacija.
When we give our seminar on Manashiksha,
Kad dajemo seminar na Manashikshu,
we're going to go into an explanation of the stages of meditation
učit ćemo u objašnjenje tih nivoa meditacije
that are described by Jiva Goswami, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta, and Srila Prabhupada.
koje opisuju Jiva Goswami, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur i Srila Prabhupada.
So we're not going to say too much about that now.
Nećemo sada reći puno toga o tome,
But our meditation should get deeper and deeper and deeper as we go on in our Krishna consciousness.
ali kako nastavljamo sa našom svjesnošću Krišne, naša meditacija treba postajati dublja i dublja i dublja.
How many of you have made real burfi? Anybody here made real burfi?
Koliko je vas ovdje napravilo pravi berfi?
I don't know what's happening to our Hare Krishna movement.
Ne znam što se dešava našem Hare Krišna pokretu.
But more hands here than I get in most places.
Ali više ovdje ruku se diglo u zrak nego što dobijemo na drugim mjestima.
So meditation is like making burfi.
Meditacija je poput rađenja berfi.
First you get the milk
Najprije nabavite mlijeko
and the pot,
i posudu,
then you light the fire,
onda upalite vatru,
then you stir it sometimes,
onda neko vrijeme miješate
and then you set up the dal.
i onda odete i pristavite dal
You stir it again,
i onda ponovo promiješate.
and you talk to your friend,
Onda pričate s prijateljem
and you stir it again.
i onda ponovo promiješate.
And it starts boiling.
Onda počne da vrije,
You're stirring it all the time,
onda ga miješate cijelo vrijeme
and it gets thick,
i onda se zgusne
and it gets solid,
i onda postane čvrsto.
and then you're in samadhi.
I onda ste samadhi.
So especially our japa time is meant for this meditation.
Za ovu meditaciju je posebno namijenjeno naše vrijeme džabe.
And we're supposed to go from cold milk to burfi.
I trebali bismo doći od hladnog mlijeka do berfe.
But I'm sure we will also be doing some meditation on the 12-hour kirtan day.
Ali sigurno sam da ćemo neku meditaciju vršiti i na dan kad budemo imali 12 sati kirtana.
And maybe some of the presentations will also put us into samadhi.
I možda će nas neka od prezentacija uvuti u samadhi.
So we have, how many of you deeply meditate every day when you chant your japa?
Koliko od vas duboko meditira svaki dan kada mantrate svoju džabu?
Oh, Hare Krishna. Well, we'll be discussing that next weekend.
O tome ćemo pričati idući tjedan.
How many of you meditate on Krishna sometimes every day?
Koliko vas meditira na Krišnu nekad svaki dan?
Oh, that's much better.
To je puno bolje.
They were just humble with the first one. Okay.
Prvim pitanjem svi su bili tako ponizni.
Well, humble is good,
Ponizan biti dobro.
even if you're just pretending to be
Čak i ako
humble.
se samo pretvarate da ste ponizni.
Good start.
Dobar početak.
Okay, then the fourth one is hearing divine pastimes.
Četvrta poanta je slušanje božanskih zabava.
So of course we're going to be having so many classes every day.
Svaki dan ćemo slušati toliko puno predavanja.
Right? This kind of camp is for those who really like to hear.
Ovakva vrsta kampa je za one koji stvarno vole slušati.
How many classes we have every day?
Koliko predavanja imamo svaki dan?
6 classes every
6
day.
predavanja svaki dan.
This is for the serious hearing addicts.
Ovo je za ozbiljne ovisnike o slušanju.
You have some retreats. You have some retreats where it's just chanting all day,
Imate neke ovakve programe na kojima se čitav dan samo pjeva.
right? Just kirtan all day.
Samo kirtan čitav dan.
And then you have other retreats where there's 1 or 2
I
classes
onda imate neke gdje ima jedno ili dva predavanja,
and lots of pizza,
puno pice,
and you just hang out with your
i
friends.
samo se vrsno topa s prijateljima.
But this is a hearing marathon.
Ali ovo je maraton, slušalački maraton.
So I'm sure we'll be hearing many pastimes of Krishna and his devotees.
Siguran sam da ćemo slušati puno zabava Krišne i njegovih vakta.
And starting tomorrow for 3 days, I'm going to be giving a seminar on Krishna's return to Raslila.
Počevši od sutra, održat ću trodnevni seminar o Krišninom povratku u Rasalilu.
When the gopis criticize him,
Kad su ga gopije kritizirali
and they say, you know, there's 3 kinds of friends.
i kažu, znaš, postoje 3 vrste prijatelja.
One of them gives back what he gets.
Jedan od njih daje kad prima,
One gives when he doesn't get.
jedan daje i kad ne prima,
And one is just ungrateful.
a jedan je tek nezahvalan.
What do you think is the best?
Šta ti misliš, koji je najbolji?
You ungrateful person.
Ti nezahvalna osoba.
And sometimes we may feel like that.
Nekad se tako osjećamo.
I'm giving everything to Krishna.
Dajem sve Krišni.
And where is he?
A gdje je on?
He just leaves.
Otišao je.
So we're going to be examining how does Krishna reciprocate with his devotees
Analizirat ćemo kako Krišna uzvraća svojim vaktima
in divine pastimes,
u božanskim zabavama,
which is happening here also.
koje se ovdje također dešavaju.
And I'm sure many of the other speakers are also going to talk about the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees.
I sigurna sam da će i drugi govornici govoriti o Krišnim zabavama s njegovim vaktima.
Of course, when we hear these stories,
Naravno da čujemo ove priče,
it shouldn't be just so we can remember the plot.
ne bi trebalo biti tako da samo zapamtimo fabulu.
This person did this person said that.
Ova je osoba rekla to, a ona osoba rekla drugo.
So then we could pass some trivia exam.
Da bismo mogli proći neki ispit sjećanja.
In fact, that part of the pastimes is not very important.
Taj dio zabava nije toliko važan.
What's important is to enter into the mood,
Što je važno je da uđemo u raspoloženje,
to get some appreciation of the love between Krishna and his devotees.
da cijenimo razmjenu ljubavi između Krišne i njegovih vakta.
So that our heart also begs, oh, I want to do that too.
Da naše srce onda moli, i ja to želim raditi.
I'm sure sometimes when we hear about Krishna's pastimes,
Sigurna sam da nekad kada slušamo o Krišninim zabavama,
pastimes of Krishna's devotees,
zabavama od Krišninih bakta,
we think, I wish somebody would make a movie of this
mislimo da bar neko napravi film s ovim
on a big screen,
na filmskom platnu,
right? With 3D.
trodimenzionalno.
So this is the kind of desire we should have.
Takve želje bismo trebali imati.
I wish I could enter into these
Da
pastimes.
bar mogu ući u ove zabave,
I wish I could see them.
da ih bar mogu vidjeti,
I wish I could be part of them.
da bar mogu biti dio njih,
I wish I could forget everything else and just enter into that mood.
da bar mogu zaboraviti sve ostalo i ući u to raspoloženje.
So this is particularly, this camp is a hearing the divine pastimes retreat.
Ovaj kamp je takav događaj namijenjen na tome slušanju božanskih zabava.
Now, 6 classes a day is a lot,
6 predavanja dnevno je puno,
and the organizer only gives us a 5-10 minute break between.
a organizator nam je dao 5 do 10 minuta pauze između.
That's just so you can go, and then you have to go again.
To je samo da se možete rastegnuti i opet sjesti.
So you really, this has got to be really serious hearing here.
Morate biti stvarno ozbiljni slušači.
But I beg you, please take advantage.
Ali molim vas, iskoristite tu priliku.
Don't think, well, I'll just go to 1 or 2.
Nemojte misliti, otiću samo na 1 ili na 2.
One doesn't get this opportunity very often.
Ne dobijamo ovakvu priliku često.
Should I tell you a little story?
Da vam kažem moju priču, krasnu priču.
When I joined the Hare Krishna movement, Prabhupada was always pushing everybody to go out and sell books.
Kada sam se pridružila Hare Krishna pokretu, Šrila Prabhupada nas je uvijek tjerao da idemo van i dijelimo knjige.
But of course, we were a little immature.
Bili smo malo nezreli.
So we had this mood, you know, if you're selling books, then you're a great devotee, and if you're not, you're kind of nothing.
I držali smo to raspoloženje, ako prodaješ knjige, onda si veliki bakta, a ako nisi, onda si niko ništa.
I remember the Sankirtan leader gave a Bhagavatam class.
Sjećam se jednog predavanja koje je održao vođa našeg Sankirtana.
Says the gopis become the preachers in Lord Chaitanya's movement.
Rekao je, gopije postaju propovjednice u pokretu gospodina Chaitanya.
So if you're distributing books, you'll become a gopi.
Stoga ako dijelite knjige, onda postajete gopije.
Interesting logic here.
Zanimljiva logika.
I said, if you don't distribute books, maybe you'll be a rock.
Jer rekao je, ako ne dijelite knjige, možda ćete postati kamen.
Very strange philosophy.
Ano, čudna filozofija.
Actually, the other day we were just reading Bhakti Tirtha Swami's meditation, Am I qualified to be a rock in Vrindavan?
Nedavno smo čitali meditaciju od Bhakti Tirtha Swamija. Da li sam kvalificiran da postanem kamen u Vrindavanu?
But anyway, that was the mood.
Ali to je bilo raspoloženje.
And the mood was also Jai Jai renunciation.
Raspoloženje tako je bilo Jai Jai, odvojenost.
Although most people didn't keep that up.
Iako većina ljudi nije to održala.
And if you were married, it wasn't very good.
Ako si bio oženjen, to nije bilo baš dobro.
And if you were a married woman, that was really bad.
I ako si bila udana žena, to je bilo jako loše.
And if you were a married woman with a child, oh, you were finished.
Ako si bila udana žena s djetetom, gotova si.
So I had been a book distributor,
Ja sam dijelila knjige,
and I got married,
onda sam se udala
and I had a child.
i dobila sam dijete.
So I was like kind of way down there.
Bila sam dole na dnu ljestvice.
And they said, no, you can't do any service anymore.
I nas su rekli, više ne možeš napraviti nikakvu službu.
You just have to stay home with your child.
Trebaš samo ostati kući sa svojim djetetom.
So I read,
I onda sam čitala
and I heard,
i slušala.
because they wouldn't let me do anything else.
Jer me nisu puštali da radim ništa drugo.
We were taking our prasadam at the temple,
Jeli bismo u hramu,
and what was I going to do all day? I didn't even have to cook.
a što bi radila, što ću onda raditi cijeli dan, nisam trebala ni kuhati.
In those days we had no furniture,
U to vrijeme nismo imali namještaj,
not even beds,
ni krevete.
and one rocking chair.
Imali smo jednu stolicu za ljulja.
So I didn't have anything to clean.
Nisam imala ništa za čistiti,
I didn't have to cook.
nisam trebala
Because
kuhati.
if you did your own cooking, that was my also.
A ako si kuhala sama za sebe, to je također
You
bila
had to eat
moja.
at the temple.
Trebala si jesti u hramu.
So what was I going to do?
To bi onda radila čitav dan.
So I just read Prabhupada's books all day.
Samo sam čitav dan čitala Šrila Prabhupada.
And when I couldn't read, I was listening
A kada ne bi mogla da čitam, onda bi slušala.
all day.
čitav dan.
Every day.
Svaki dan.
More than 6 classes.
Više nego 6 lekcija.
But at the time, I thought I was simply in Maya.
Ali u to vrijeme sam mislila da sam jednostavno u Maji.
I thought, oh, I'm not out. I'd go to Shibush.
Mislila sam, ne dijelim knjige vani.
I'm just a rock.
Ja sam samo kamen.
I didn't appreciate
Nisam cijenila.
at all.
Uopće.
And I wasn't just reading, I was studying very in-depth.
I nisam tek čitala, već sam duboko studirala.
But I had no appreciation for the facility that I was having.
Ali nisam cijenila tu priliku koju sam imala.
I was thinking, when is my baby going to grow up and then I can do some real service?
Mislila sam, kad će mi više beba odrasti, pa da neku pravu službu napravim.
And now I see people are paying a lot of money to go to India for 4 months to just read.
I sada vidim da ljudi plaćaju puno para da odu u Indiju na 4 mjeseca da bi samo čitali.
And I thought I was given it for free.
Mislila sam, ja sam to imala besplatno.
About a year and a half.
Godinu i pol dana.
So we are also being given that here.
I to nam je isto dano ovdje.
It's very precious.
To je dragocjeno.
Don't just socialize
Nemojte se samo družiti
and eat pizza.
i jesti picu.
I think there's free pizza for some people, yes?
Neki ljudi imaju besplatnu picu.
Did I read that?
Sam to dobro pročitala.
Yes? If you had a baby last year,
Ako si zadnjih godinu dana dobila bebu,
if you wrote a book about Krishna last year,
ako si napisala knjigu o Krišnu i
so I get a pizza for that one.
Dakle, zato dobijem.
I forget what the other ones are.
Zaboravila sam šta je bilo ono drugo.
But we should be hearing divine pastimes
Ali trebamo slušati božanske zabave
with great focus
sa velikom usredotočenošću
and with emotion.
i s osjećajima.
So how many of you in your daily life hear Krishna or the devotees' pastimes every day?
Koliko od vas u vašem životu slušate i zabavu Krišne i njihove bajke svaki dan?
So please dive here.
Molim vas, uronite ovdje.
Then the last nectar
I zadnji nektar
is offering obeisances.
je odavanje poštovanja.
And that we can do a lot of because there's so many Vaishnavas.
To možemo raditi toliko puno puta, jer ima toliko puno bhakti,
So many opportunities.
toliko prilika.
You know, the Goswamis, they used to not only count their japa, they would count their obeisances.
Gosvami ne bi samo brojili svoje mantre, već bi brojili odavanje poštovanja.
So these are the 5 nectars
To su tih 5 nektara
that Raghunath Das Goswami said we should drink every day.
za koje Raghunath Das Goswami kaže da bismo trebali piti svaki dan.
And here at this camp we have a very large supply of all of these nectars.
I ovdje na ovom kampu imamo jako veliku količinu svih tih nektara.
So to drink them and to bathe Govardhan with them.
So, piti ih i kupati Govardhan njima.
So I was asked also to speak a little bit about the seminars I'll be giving.
I tražili su od mene da kažem nešto o seminarima koje ću davati.
So as I already mentioned, I'll be doing a 3-part seminar on Krishna's reciprocation with the devotees.
Kao što sam već spomenula, održat ću seminar u 3 dijela o Krišni, kako Krišna uzvraća svakom.
That starts tomorrow.
Koji počinje sutra.
That's multimedia.
Ima multimedijske prezentacije.
And then the last 2 days of the camp,
I zadnja 2 dana kampa
we'll be presenting Raghunath Das Goswami's splendid instructions to the mind.
ćemo predstavljati Raghunath Das Goswamieve sjajne instrukcije za um.
That will also be multimedia.
To će također sadržavati multimedijske
And we've
prezentacije.
published a new translation this year
Ove godine smo objavili novi prevod
of Raghunath Das Goswami's verses
od tih strofa Raghunath Das Goswamija
with Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary.
s komentarima Bhaktivinoda Thakura.
Of course, it's in English.
Naravno na engleskom je,
I'm sorry.
žao mi,
Sanskrit also.
sa sanskritom također.
And we have Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bengali songs,
Imamo Bengali pjesme Bhaktivinoda Thakura
and we have the Bengali
i imamo Bengali za njih također.
in Roman. We didn't put it in Bengali.
Transliteracija na latinici.
And this is the first time that Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs on Manashiksha have ever been published.
I ovo je da prvi put u historiji da su prevedene pjesme Bhaktivinoda Thakura na Manashikshu.
Yes. What?
Iz koje pjesmarice Bhaktivinoda Thakura
It was never published in his songbook. No.
Nikad nije objavljeno
Not
u
these
pjesmaricama, nisu pjesmarice.
They were only published in Bangla script.
Samo su bile objavljene na Bengaliju.
And I saw there were two not very good English translations that someone just like distributed but nothing published.
I bile su dvije ne baš kvalitetno urađena engleska prevoda koji su se ovako dijelili od ruke do ruke, ali nisu bili objavljeni.
And we were working on every word of these translations for 3 years.
I doslovno smo radili na svakoj riječi ovih prevoda 3 godine.
3 years.
3 godine.
To really to get first class translations.
Da napravimo prvorazredan prijevod.
So one of our Bengali translators is from the family of Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Jedan od naših prevoditelja sa Bengalije je iz obitelji Bhaktivinoda Thakura.
Our Sanskrit translator was raised traditionally in the Sanskrit Gurukula.
Naš prevoditelj sa Sanskrita je odgojen, podignut u tradicionalnoj sanskritskoj gurukuli.
They're all very big scholars in Islam.
Oni su veliki učenjaci u islamu.
Then we also have in the book the commentary of Jayadvaita Swami, Shivaram Maharaj, Sachinandan Maharaj, and Bhaktivinoda Maharaj.
I u knjizi također imamo komentare Shivaram Swamija, Jayadvaita Swamija, Sachinandana Swamija i Bhaktivinoda Swamija.
We have 12 new color paintings that were made just for this book.
Imamo 12 slika ulja na platnu koje su naslikane isključivo za ovu knjigu.
And 120 new black and white drawings also.
I 120 novih crno-bijelih crteža.
So we'll be giving and I should tell you just very briefly why this book is important.
I samo ću vam kratko reći zašto je ova knjiga toliko važna.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur said this is the step-by-step manual of how to enter into loving service with Krishna in Vrindavan.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur rekao, ova je knjiga vodič korak po korak kako ući u transcendentalnu službu Krishna u Vrindavanu.
It also establishes that our ISKCON movement and Bhaktisiddhanta were teaching the bona fide path of spontaneous devotion.
Također utvrđuje činjenicu da su naš pokret i Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati podučavali proces spontanog predanog služenja.
So it's an important book for ISKCON's 50th anniversary.
Dakle, to je važna knjiga za ISKCON-ovu 50. godišnjicu.
So we're going to have a very limited number of books for sale also.
Imat ćemo jako ograničen broj knjiga na prodaju.
And that will be next weekend, Friday and Saturday.
I to će biti idući vikend, petak i subotu.
So I hope that we can all drink these 5 nectars over these days.
Nadam se da svi možemo piti ovih 5 nektara kroz ovo vrijeme ovdje.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Mataji Urmila ki
Jai.